Good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Anywhere you are around the world, you are welcome to Reconcile 2023. This is the second day of this event, titled How to Reconcile with Your Ancestors. It's an event scheduled to bring us together with our past, because without the past, you cannot know the present. Neither can you be able to forecast the future. And when we talk our ancestors, we are also talking about ourselves. Make no mistake, you and your ancestors are one and of the same. So when we say how to reconcile you with your ancestors, we are actually saying how to reconcile you with yourself. Just stay with us. It's going to be mind blowing. Don't go away. You're welcome once more. You can take your seat and relax while the event begins properly. This is the voice of Ayodhra. For the second time in a row, you are hearing this voice. And that's the voice of reason, voice of light, voice of invigoration, voice of life. Once more, I will be the one taking you on this journey tonight. Welcome everyone to day 2 of Reconcile 2023. Yes, it was an amazing outing yesterday. We listened to our moderator, Shrewsbury, who is conspicuously absent. We also listened to that beautiful testimony from one of us, And tonight, we are also going to hear more. So just stay tuned and enjoy the moment. We hope that this live stream will bring us on a journey together. We also hope that engagement here can get better as much as our commitment. I have some good news for us. Very interesting good news. When we fell in love with this teaching, we agreed on 12 conditions that can help us grow. We term these conditions 12 codes. Many of us who started this together with us, we can remember. We task ourselves and say each code, each challenge that we overcame, we move to the next. And we had 12 challenges, which we call 12 codes. And we overcame all of them. That piece that we authored then together is now a beautiful piece. It's now a beautiful book. And that book is titled The 12 Codes of EOR. You will have deeper insights when you read it on how we evolved, how we started just from one person and then we grew in number. And the beautiful thing is, this book is free for the first 100 people to download. Absolutely free. As we journey together tonight, we shall share the link so that those who have interest, all of us authored it together, so it's free. So the first 100 people will have it for free. Then subsequently, we are going to decide if we are going to charge on it or not. So this is a product. I hope all of us can see it. You can see this beautiful book. Just go to the comment section and indicate. That book is a product of all of us. So you'll be doing yourself very great honor to have a copy of it for free. That is what we can show in a few months. We have shown capacity. We have shown diligence. And that is the book we can see from the screen. Let's see how it started. It's so beautiful. The content inside is even more beautiful. The graphics are perfect. That is the book that you are getting for free. That is a book. The first 100 people get it for free. We all thought it together, all of us. So go in there and get yours for free. The link shall be shared. We did it together. So this beautiful book that we call the 12 codes of EOR, you can see code 4 of it. You can see code 4 on the screen there. And code 4 of that book says, here is for all races, faiths, and languages. But the weak and the vulnerable are our major concern. We are seeing that on code 4. And you can see that code 4 explains why most of our content are more impactful on Africans. That code 4 is the reason when we talk about ancestors, we narrow it down to African ancestors, because our major concern, according to code 4 of 12 codes of EOR, is to look after the vulnerable and the weak. Humanity cannot advance unless all human races advance. I hope you can hear me. Humanity cannot advance unless all human races advance. And I say it, if a certain section advances far ahead of the other, it causes instability. The gap between the people at the bottom and the people at the top, if it gets too widened, it calls for instability. So the responsibility of advancing all human races is our responsibility, and it should be the responsibility of every human. Hence, when reconnecting Africans to their ancestors, is very essential for clarity of purpose. Life is not a race, it's a journey. It's like a relay game. It did not start with us. It's not going to end with us. But when you reconnect with the past, your clarity of purpose becomes your priority. A young man came to me and said, "Sir, I have done everything I should do to be successful. I have worked as hard as my mates, if not more. I have been patient. I am smart. I don't see anywhere I'm lacking, apart from in results." That's what the young man said. And the young man said, "I've also gone from one place, one prayer house to another, and they keep saying his ancestral curse." He said they will place him on fasting, place him on prayer, and say he has to destroy his ancestral linkage. And I asked him, "Okay, how long have you done that?" He says he's uncountable, that he has virtually moved from one prayer house to another, and it's all the same, that his problem is tied to his ancestors. Okay, it becomes very interesting. And after listening to the young man, I asked him, "Do you believe?" He said, "Well, I don't know if I'm to believe or not, because I haven't still seen results. They all say the same thing. They have all done the same thing. But at the same time, they have also gotten the same result, which is not what he expected." I looked at the young man and I asked him, "Do you believe in reincarnation?" He smiled and he said, "I don't know what to believe." Somehow I do, somehow I don't. I said, okay. You believe that your ancestors are the reasons why you are not progressing. He said, well, so they said, and so he thinks. I said, okay. Now, if you think that your ancestors had causes which was transferred to you, have you considered their blessings? Or don't you think their blessings are not passed on to you? Have you tried to connect to these blessings? Well, after speaking to the young man, I told the young man, now let me tell you what you don't know. Let's get deeper right now. I told the young man, in your previous world, whether you believe in reincarnation or not, in your previous world, before you came to this particular one, do you know who they say you reincarnated to? He said, yes. I said, okay. I asked him, was the man a religious leader? He said, yes. I said, okay. And I told him, I said, do you know that this man in his life, he reincarnated you? And do you know that the life he lived has some connection with the life you are living? He was looking at me and I said, yes, there is a huge connection. And sometimes those things you feel they are causes, it's just lack of understanding. Okay. At the end, I told the young man, the man who you reincarnated to, when he was a church leader, there was some money, some church money that he did not account to. He was shocked. He was looking at me. I said, yes. He did not account for certain amount of money when he was a church leader, a religious leader. And he died without paying that money. He was shocked. He said, now you have to pay that money. He was shocked. I told him how much he's supposed to take, go to the church, anywhere, and give the money after some rites. And he was shocked that after doing it, his life changed. He was so shocked. So, what am I saying? What I'm saying is there is a huge connection between us and our ancestors. Very huge connection. But we have to explore it. This is one task we have shied away from. But I tell you that the secret to your greatness is hidden there. If you know your previous journey, you should be able to understand your present journey, even if you may not have control about your future journey. On my journey so far in life, I have encountered three types of wisdom. The first wisdom is wisdom gained from parents, gained from your communities, gained from your culture, gained from your tradition and your environment. So when we're talking about culture, when we're talking about tradition, these things are handed to you by your ancestors. You didn't come to this world with any tradition. You came and made tradition. They were handed over to you. And there is wisdom attached to that if you don't know. So that wisdom gained from your parents, community, culture, tradition, and environment, I prefer to call this wisdom native wisdom. This is the foundation upon every wisdom is built. I tell you, if your foundation on native wisdom is not strong, you won't be able to build any form of wisdom. You won't be able to get any form of tangible result. You can only float, and I will tell you why. It is acquired at early age, and most times through heredity. So you came to the world with a part of it through your gene, and a part of it is about your culture and your environment. That is what I call native wisdom. Then the second wisdom I encountered was wisdom acquired from your schools, your education, your formal education. And I prefer to call that one knowledge-based wisdom. And you see, let me tell you, no matter the knowledge you acquire in your schools, if you do not build them on your native wisdom, you are wasting your time. You can speak, express, but you can't implement because your implementation has no structure, it has no foundation. Why is it that the more graduates your countries produce, the higher your unemployment? Have you asked yourself question? Is your education not supposed to solve your societal problems? But the more education, the more backward because you've neglected native wisdom. And the third wisdom I've come encountered is wisdom gained from daily experiences, from practical events. Every day you wake up, you face challenges, you get challenged, you solve your challenges, you try to survive, you do a whole lot of things. And this is what I call street wisdom. And of truth I tell you, for you to be truly, really, truly, truly wise, these three types of wisdom must richly align for you. There must be a good balance of the three. But I can tell you of all of them, the foundation, the one that you need most, is your native wisdom. Now, subsequent programs, we're going to elaborate on all this, simplify them to the understanding of everybody. Your native wisdom is above all wisdoms. And the most important thing is for you to know is that this native wisdom, your ancestors are the custodians of it. Your ancestors are the custodians of your native wisdom. They survived in their own time. They did what they did to survive. Most of the food you eat today, they invented. What have your generation even done right? Just tell me. What have your generation done? Your ancestors did everything for you. Everything. Most of the food you eat, they discovered. Most of the way you live your life, they discovered. The agriculture you enjoy how to eat food, they made it possible. At a point, humans did not know about cooking. Your ancestors made it possible. Give them some respect. What have you done on your own? You sit down every day and you abuse them. Your ancestors are the custodians of native wisdom. And who they choose to give this wisdom, they give to. Not because they got defeated at a point, it didn't make them stupid. There is need to connect, irrespective of your religious leaning. Your ancestors are there for you. You see, there is a reason why we all don't look together. We don't look alike. You see, we have 8 billion people in this world, and those 8 billion people all look different. They all look different. You can get someone who looks partially like you. And don't think it's a fluke that everybody looks different. The way we all look different, that's the way our components are also different. Our spiritual components, our spiritual parts are also different. That is why we don't love the same thing. We don't dislike the same thing. Everybody has got preferences. That is how it is with you too. That is why you look different. That's why your ancestors look different. Because they were of different components. And every component you're made of, you have to understand those components and know what pleases those components. That's why all spirits don't appreciate the same thing. All souls don't appreciate the same thing. That is why people worship differently. That is why you have different religions. Because all souls don't worship alike. All souls, all spirits don't worship alike. There is a diverse path to the divine, and God is at the center of it. When you nourish your component with the right ingredients, then you begin to yield fruit, begin to yield results. It's not a fluke that you look different. And when you look different, you know that everything about you should also be done differently. But you have to discover what works for you. You have to discover what works for you. And the secret to that discovery lies in the hands of your ancestors. At this moment, whatever you get from up, like I said, if it doesn't get to the root, it's not going to germinate. If those seeds don't get to the ground, they aren't going to germinate. Think about it again. More schools, more illiteracy. There's a disconnect. That disconnect is absence of native wisdom. Call me anytime, I will defend it. Why are you always afraid of your roots? Okay, now let me tell you, there's one secret I want to reveal to you tonight. Pay very good attention. You won't get it anywhere. You can't read it anywhere. And mind you, most of the things I told you, you can't read them anywhere. So let me tell you something. Those of us who started with us, they remember when we discussed, we said that every system has got negative and positive, darkness and light together. In our spirituality rules, we stated that they all alike, but they act in opposite direction, but they actually do the same thing. That we are all components of darkness and light, and they all exist inside us. Now, when your darkness is energized, the darkness inside you, when it's energized, darkness envelopes your life. And that's when people will say you're under spell or under what? Because the darkness inside you is energized. And that darkness is the one inside you. That's why it looks like it's people around your community are responsible for your problem. I'm giving you a very big secret tonight. They are not. That is the darkness inside you that got energized. And it got energized through influence, through interaction with other darknesses around. And when it gets energized, your life becomes in trouble. Your life is in tatters. As we go on in the future, we're going to elaborate all this so that you understand exactly how the forces within you interact with the forces around you to create the reality you see every day. When you understand this, life will be easier for you. When you understand this, things will be simpler. You won't be thinking, asking some questions, all the answers will come out. As we said yesterday, no matter your race, no matter your religion, all our ancestors, irrespective of your race, they all had three things in common. We stated that yesterday. So do not think that yours is different. And do not think that yours, they were the worst. Whatever they went through, ancestors of other races too, they also went through. They had three things in common. We stated that yesterday. And the first one, we said that they all tasted defeat and victories at a particular time of their existences, irrespective of the region where they are located around the world, irrespective of how they have evolved, irrespective of who they have become presently. They've tasted defeat and they have also enjoyed victories at any point. The second thing, all the ancestors, irrespective of your race, they had in common. They all survived. You didn't teach them how to farm. You didn't teach them how to procreate. You didn't teach them how to survive. They all did that. That's the second thing they all had in common. And the third thing they had in common, they all competed for better life. They wanted better life, just like everyone on this planet wants something better. Everybody, nobody wakes up in the morning and chooses evil upon himself. Nobody wakes up in the morning and decides to go in the wrong direction. But it all happened. So all the ancestors all wanted something better. But unfortunately too, some wanted it more. And if it hasn't come to you, do not bother much. It's going to come to you. First and foremost, you have to ask for clarity. Before I end this speech, I just want you to say these affirmative words so that you can find clarity in your life as you try to reconnect to your roots. There are treasures down there in your roots that you need to reconnect and pick quickly. Lots of treasures. Treasures you have avoided all these years, thinking that your village people were responsible for your problem. It's time to pick that treasure. And you're going to say, to that which I am formed, I ask for strength. To that which forms my thoughts, I ask for right choices. To that which guides my path, I ask for light. May light shine on our paths. If you can hear me, you go to the comment section and you drop, let the light shine. So we are going to continue with the program. The next thing we have on the list is testimony time. You know, we don't publicize people's experiences with us. We don't publicize testimonies yet, but they are quite enormous. And we don't do it on purpose because we don't want people to be rushing here for testimony. No, you don't come to me for testimony. No, that's not why we are here. You see, if 500 people set out in search of testimony, okay, let's say they've got a problem to solve, and those 500 people decided to go in the direction of testimonies in search of that problem. I can tell you that if God is so merciful to them, out of those 500 people, maybe 50 will come back with good news. Maybe. That God is so active that the 50 out of those 500 will solve their problem through miracles. But when you master your problems, if 500 people set out to solve their problem through self-mastery, through understanding the process, can I tell you that out of 500 people, 450 will come successful. So you can imagine. So which one is more resourceful? Hanging around for miracle or understanding how miracle works and grab yours by yourself? While you are trying to grab yours, then you see miracles. Miracles is on the way for those who act, those who move, those who seek. Those are the ones who shall receive miracles, not the ones who will sit in the comfort of their homes and they will expect miracle credit alert. They expect, I don't know. So we don't want to abuse this platform. We don't want people to keep rushing here for miracles. At the same time, we've got them. And when there's need for it to manifest, we show it to you. So the next on the agenda is someone, a testifier who has had his own experiences with us, not one, not two. And he has demanded that an audience is granted to him tonight so that at least he can testify. If we decide to line up testifiers here, maybe in the next 10 years, we'll still be on it. That is not even exaggeration. But as I said earlier, we don't want to build this on empty miracles. This is exactly what we do not want. This is exactly what we're against. So we don't preach miracle. But I tell you that if you got real problems, you run to Eye of Ra, your problem shall be solved. That is just the truth. And we are going to hear how it happens for this person when we return. Stay tuned and don't go away.
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Light shine on our path. My name is Frederick from Ghana. Today, I'm excited to share with you a transformative encounter I had with a remarkable, a highly spiritual leader of a group. This encounter left an indelible mark on my life, teaching me valuable lessons about the power of spirituality. I became a member somewhere May 2023, performing all the just last month and then I had a one-on-one encounter of Ra, which changed everything in my life. Sometimes I even wonder who he is. Jesus Christ, Archangel, or Gabriel. The experience I am about to share for all of you. And I am assuring each and every one of you that you are all in the right place at the right time. This is indeed the time for awakening and the right time for Eye of Ra to take the whole world by storm. Let the light shine on our path. Early this month, I was very traumatized, and at a certain point, I could feel that I am almost gone. This was upon a recent promotion I received at my workplace together with my best friend, whom I have lived my past 15 years with. Unfortunately, he died just a week after reporting to his new work. Per the way and manner which he died, everything shows that it was a black magic which ended his life. Just 3 days after his death, I became very weak. I couldn't even walk for 5 minutes. I was very scared. Then something told me to contact Iofra for help. I sent Iofra a message and we arranged for a Google Meet that very day because he told me my case was an urgent one. As soon as I on my face, he told me that my soul has been taken away far away, but he will rescue it back to me. He told me I will see everything in my dreams when he started the process. He requested for some amount of money, which is about 200 to purchase a ship and other things for the process, which I sent it to him. That very night, I had a dream, and in the dream, I was seated on the right hand side of someone dressed like a king with two people I knew in front of me. In the dream, it was like he was seeing an issue I had with them. One of them was very furious and angry that he would never agree. That very night, I felt like death was approaching me, but with the help of Arafra, I was relieved. The next morning, I felt pain all over my body, especially at my waist and my Arafra, and he told me I'm okay. There is nothing wrong with me. And the people I saw in my dream, the main people, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to attack anybody. He told me the battle has been won already, and the pains I am currently experiencing is a spiritual awakening. He told me that anybody who sits at his right hand side cannot be hurt by anybody. That very day, I did laboratory tests at two hospitals, and I was told nothing was wrong with me. In my subsequent dream, I saw an images of mediations ongoing with several people, including my colleague at the place. In another dream, I saw that I was in a very big conference where I saw two of the biggest men of God in Ghana. One of them gave me and somebody plenty money, which I was running with. Some people came and I gave them some. Later, I went to a very nice hotel and I was in the company of the pastor who gave me the money and his son. A lady dressed in a blue attire, upon seeing the pastor who gave me the money, went closer to the pastor and tried to seduce him. I and the son of the pastor was sitting in a chair watching what was going on. Later, the other pastor, whom was at the conference, was coming to the same room, and I quickly ran faster to where the pastor was and held his hand from the woman to the veranda, such that the other pastor will not see. I explained this dream to Eye of Ra, and he explained that I will soon manifest abundant money in my life, and the power he has given me is so huge that it's, it saves one of the biggest pastors in Ghana from shame. In another dream, I was standing outside a very big church, and somebody told me to enter the church. When I entered, a friend of mine whom I knew at secondary school and the university offered me a chair on the right hand side of the king who mediated my issues earlier on. One thing I recognized was that despite the huge church, the members in there with so many empty seats. I contacted Alfra and he explained that the huge church with few members are more and more seats suggest that there are few people who are enlightened or undergoing spiritual awakening. Hence, they need to promote Eye of Ra so that more souls can be won for their awakening. Currently, I have liaised with a blogger who is a friend of mine with the aim of promoting Eye of Ra in Ghana, and we need more people to come and join as we are in the era of spiritual awakening. I would also like to bring to your notice of a book published by Eye of Ra titled The Sparks, The New Beginning, which I have purchased one. I think I am the first person to purchase this book. The book is aimed at propelling souls undergoing spiritual awakening to their highest consciousness. Currently, I'm in chapter 2 and hopefully I will complete latest by Saturday. On this note, I will thank all of you for listening to me and assure you that you are at the right place at the right time. May the light shine on our path. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Yeah, we just listened to Mr. Frederick right now, and this is what it is called lay it bare. I think that's what Mr. Frederick did, and he just narrated every bit of the encounter we've had recently. You know, but there is one he did. He didn't include that he got an award yesterday for outstanding public performance. He didn't mention that. Yeah, he won an award in Ghana for outstanding public service, and the award was given to him yesterday. And he sent the pictures and dedicated the award to the Eye of Ra. And I told him, the better days are on the way. Those good things that are meant for you must get to you. As I said earlier, we don't talk about miracles because we don't want people to rely on it. It's not that it's not reliable, it is. But we want people to be able to create their own miracles by themselves. Solve your problems by yourself. Problems don't finish. You can't solve all your problems by yourself, but there are certain ones that God has given you to solve. You don't have to look up to God for that. And that power in you is what I want to unlock. So that you don't cry every day to God over things He has given you powers to do. But when the situation is critical, of course, we listen to the person who spoke yesterday, Tricia, who had her own experience. And I can tell you, if these people should tell you all their experiences, all their encounters, if they were given the chance to do it, you will even marvel more. You won't be thinking, the thing you'll be thinking, is it the person that have been sending us texts all these months? Is it what he's capable of doing? But we are just starting. Next year will be very interesting. Everything we promise we will do, we have achieved that. We have urged you to go and get the free book. And Mr. Frederick just announced to you about a new book. I say he's laid bare. That's exactly what he did, because the book is not still in the market. But when he saw the highlight of the book, he insisted. So at the point I say, okay, he's now ready. Just get the book. When he got the book, he was like, what? What is this? I said, everything you see there is original. And one thing with what I tell you is, you may not find them anywhere, in no library, no internet, nowhere. You may not find them anywhere because they are original. They are all products of my personal experiences, personal journey, and personal revelation. So we don't want to rely on miracle, as I said. We want you to be strong enough to rely on yourself while God watches over you. That is the intention of God. God never planned to make you a perpetual slave. No. God did not create you to remain his slave forever. No. God created you to evolve to a point of partnership. You go into partnership with God. Do you know what partnership means? Partnership means that everybody has got his or her own rules. In a partnership, there are stakes, there are roles, there are responsibilities. You don't take all your responsibilities to God, even the ones He has given you powers to solve. That is why we are here, to make sure that the right thing you need to know, you know it. Please, if you haven't registered for free membership subscription, please do that, because from next year we are loaded. IORA is no longer about teaching. We are now being practical. I taught you, all of you, for 8 months or thereabouts, consistently, because I wanted you to form the habit of learning. You know, that habit is a difficult one. You don't go to bed any night without counting the things you have learned for the day. That's why the word is not for someone who has closed his mind forever. In the book that Fred just talked about, The Sparks, New Beginning, it's not just a book. is a sacred text. When you see a book, it's like an information book. No, it's not. It's not a normal book. When you in that book is stated that they say a closed mouth is a closed destiny. But I tell you that a closed destiny is not a closed mouth. It's a closed mind. Do not close your mind. God has really given you mind to think. Position your mind to endless possibilities. Do not limit it. Do not close your mind to options, ideas, and any other good thing that may lie your way. We are partners together in this journey. And everything within my power, I shall give unto you. Everything I've learned, my experiences. As I keep saying it, the things I say, you can hardly see it anywhere because they're so original. Product of personal experiences and revelation. Product of consistent journey to eternal light. So, at this point, do not forget the aim of this gathering, to reconnect you to your roots. When we say your ancestors, we are not asking you to go and begin to practice the religion of your ancestors. That's not what we mean, because most times when people say this, they think it's about going back to whatever their ancestors did. No. Whatever your ancestors didn't do right, it's your responsibility to do it right. Where they failed, you should succeed. Where they lacked, you should be sufficient. And it's a consistent journey of relay. You pass the baton to the next generation. Whatever you learn, you pass the baton, and life continues. It did not start with you, and it's not going to end with you. So when you have the time as you've had now, then you have to make the best use of it. Have you ever imagined how vast this universe is? Have you ever imagined that? Have you ever imagined that? We're not talking about planet Earth. Planet Earth is just like a tiny dot. It's not even up to a grain of sand when you compare it with the size of the universe. Planet Earth is, when you look from high telescope, the planet Earth is non-existent. So in the vastness of this universe, 8 billion people, look at the internet, littered with information. And yet, all of you found your way to locate me. And in the vastness of time, all of us are sharing this epoch together. And you think it's a coincidence? If you're thinking so, you think again. It's not. It's well orchestrated, well planned. Nothing happens by accident, not even your car accident. It's a call to duty. It's a call to enlighten your mind. With this, we're going to end the program tonight. Don't forget to register. It's free subscription. Most of our events from next year shall be conducted in the vast social community we built in the website. And most of us who have registered, you can testify. It's just like a social media of its own. So it can have some of our things, there are some other things we may want to discuss, then we'll go in there and discuss it. And please do register. Do invite, do share our messages, share our posts, comment, like, invite friends, invite contacts. I mean, enlightenment shouldn't have any enemy. I mean, light has no enemy. It's for your own good. When the light shines on your path, you'll be able to see your surroundings very well. You'll be able to see those bombs on your way that you never saw. You'll be able to see those potholes around you. You'll be able to see those reptiles, those scorpions and snakes hiding under your pillow. When the light is shown on you, you'll be able to see all that. Make sure we gather again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the last of this event. Today we started a bit late because we got a technical issue, but we resolved it. You know, this is our second broadcast, so we are still learning in the job. So anyhow it turns out, just be rest assured that we can only do better in the future. So invite your contact, invite your friends. Things are happening here. You don't want to make noise about it because you want to enlighten your mind first. You know, you don't come every time and ask for fish. Well, we've got the sink, we've got the hook, we've got everything you need, the net to fish. So why coming every time to disturb for fish? Even God will not be happy with you that you disturb him all the time for problems he has given you powers to solve. Don't you know? Don't you know that some of your problems are God's anger that you're not making use of your senses? He has given you brain. Then you decided to take the brain away. You gave God the brain, gave back God the brain, and said, God, I don't need this brain, keep it. And God said, I've given you this to solve your problems. You said, no, keep it, sir, I don't need it. Then every day you run to Him and you cry and you pray. And if you were Him, if you were God, what do you think you do? Do you think you answer such prayer? He will definitely look at you as an unserious person. I've given him everything to solve his problem, and he keeps running to me to disturb me. That era will come to an end. I thank you all for making our time to participate in this event. Please don't stop. Good thing is already around the way. We hope that you help us to share this video, comment, and always participate. Thank you very much, and may light shine on your path. Let the light shine.